Welcome to the Shadow Frequency, where the veil between this world and the next grows thin, and the things that whisper in the dark are given voice. From the cryptic candlelit studios, deep in the Indiana forests, your host, Matt Wilson, and his spectral producer, Juniper Ravenwood, unearth the forbidden, the forgotten, and the fearsome. So, still your heart, dim the light, and listen closely. For once you tune into the Shadow Frequency, you may never tune out.
All right, let's see what horrors we got tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, nope. That's the haunted toaster that screams at 3 a.m. drawer.
Yeah.
Why is there a jar labeled possible werewolf toenails? Matt, we talked about this.
For research purposes.
Sure.
Well.
Oh, great. A cursed music box. Glowing rock that hums when Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Episode 282, the McGuire Dix incident, the night the alien fell.
Military bases, radar blips, and something literally dropped out of the sky.
Yep, tonight's file answers the age-old question, what happens when a UFO doesn't stick the landing?
Let's open it.
Welcome to the Shadow Frequency, where the truth didn't just come close.
It crash-landed. Episode 282, the McGuire Dix incident, the night the alien fell.
You are tuned to the Shadow Frequency, where every whisper tells a story from beyond the veil. Hosted by Matt Wilson. Produced by Juniper Ravenwood. With Chris Beach. The darkness continues.
Welcome back to the Shadow Frequency, where we dive into the eerie corners of the unknown, pulling out stories that linger in the dark long after the lights come on. Tonight, we're stepping into a chilling chapter of UFO history, one that blurs the line between military secrecy and extraterrestrial intrusion. Imagine a cold January night in 1978, radars lighting up with impossible signals, and an encounter that ends in gunfire. Matt, are you ready to unpack this one? It might just make us all glance a little longer at the stars.
Oh, Juniper, you know how to hook a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this story's got that perfect mix of high-stakes drama and outright weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking radars going haywire, shadowy figures in the night, and a twist that could only come from the paranormal playbook.
Right.
Stick around, folks. This one's going to send shivers down your spine.
Absolutely. The tension's already building. Over to you, Matt. Guide us into the shadows.
Thanks, Juniper, for digging into the file cabinet and pulling this one out. It's like you knew I needed a dose of pure mystery today. All right, listeners, settle in because we're heading back to January 18th, 1978 to the adjoining military bases of Fort Dix and McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey, now part of Joint Base McGuire-Dix, Lakehurst. Picture this. It's a frigid winter night, the kind where your breath hangs in the air like a ghost. The runways are bathed in the harsh glow of floodlights, and inside the control towers, radar screens are humming with routine activity. But tonight, nothing's routine. It starts subtle, you know. Late in the evening, radar operators at McGuire's control tower pick up multiple unknown objects zipping through the restricted airspace. These aren't your standard blips. No transponder signals, moving way too fast, and pulling off sudden directional changes that would shred any human-piloted aircraft. We're talking maneuvers that defy physics, darting across the screens like shadows playing tag. Pilots up in the air get scrambled, and soon they're radioing back visual confirmations. Dish-shaped craft glowing faintly, slicing through the sky silently. No engines roaring, no wings flapping, just pure otherworldly grace. The bases quietly ramp up security because whatever these things are, they're not invited. But the real heart pounder doesn't stay airborne. Down on the ground, near the Fort Dix perimeter fence, a military policeman is out on patrol. Let's call him our unwitting hero, or maybe just the guy in the wrong place at the right time. He's cruising along in the dark, maybe sipping coffee to stay warm, when he spots strange lights flickering near the fence line. He pulls over, flashlight in hand, and steps out to investigate. Out of the shadows emerges something that freezes him in his tracks. A small humanoid figure, about 4 feet tall, with a slender but solid build. Its skin is gray-brown, almost reptilian in texture, catching the light in an unnatural way. Large dark eyes reflect back at him, oversized and piercing, like black pools that swallow the night. And the air, thick with an overpowering chemical odor, like ammonia mixed with something acrid and alien. The being seems startled, mirroring the MP's shock for a split second. Then it bolts, scrambling toward the direction of McGuire's runways. The MP's training kicks in, or maybe it's pure instinct, but he gives chase, heart pounding, boots crunching on the frozen ground. As the figure flees, he draws his .45 caliber pistol and fires. 5 shots ring out in the dark, echoing across the base like thunderclaps. Witnesses in the lore say the being stumbles, hit hard, but it keeps going for a moment, clearing the fence in a desperate leap before collapsing near the edge of a McGuire runway. It stops moving, sprawled out under the floodlights, that ammonia stench hanging heavy. Alarms blare across both bases now. Security teams swarm the area, sealing it off tighter than a drum. Flights are delayed, rerouted. Everything grinds to a tense halt. The mood shifts. It's not just a breach anymore. It's something bigger, something that makes the air feel electric with unspoken dread. Personnel are restricted. Whispers ripple through the ranks, but no one's saying much out loud. And then, under heavy guard, a military transport plane, a C-141, by most accounts, touches down. The small body is carefully loaded on board, wrapped and secured like fragile cargo from another world. Its destination? Rumors point to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, that infamous hub of UFO circles for housing recovered aircraft and, well, biological oddities. After that, silence descends like a curtain. No official chatter, no public reports, no acknowledgments from the brass. The night fades into legend, but for those who were there, or claim to have been, it lingers. This story bubbles up through early mentions in local papers like the Brown Mills Community News, investigations by groups like the National Investigation Committee on Aerial Phenomena, or NICAP, and later through retired officers stepping forward. Take Major George Filer III, a retired Air Force intelligence officer. He's gone on record saying he was briefed on the UFO activity that night, the entity shot at Fort Dix, and the body whisked away under military control. His accounts, detailed in books like Strange Craft by John L. Guerra, paint a picture that's hard to shake. A convergence of radar hits, eyewitness sightings, and a close encounter that ended in tragedy. What gets me, folks, is the sheer vividness of it all. Imagine being that MP, staring down something not from this earth, the weight of the unknown pressing in, or those radar operators watching blips dance impossibly. It's the stuff that keeps you up at night wondering what's really out there in the shadows of our skies. And why the silence? What secrets are buried in those classified files? Phew, that one's got me checking the windows. Leaves you with that eerie what-if hanging in the air, doesn't it?
Totally unsettling. I can almost smell that ammonia odor you describe. It gives me chills. What's coming up next?
We'll dig even deeper into the aftermath and what it all might mean, but first, let's take a breath. Over to you, Juniper.
Okay, listeners, if that first half has you glancing over your shoulder like I am, just wait. There's more to unravel in this bizarre tale. I bet some of you are wondering if this could really have happened, or if it's straight out of a sci-fi flick. Hang on tight, Matt's got the rest coming up, but first let's hear from our friend Chris Beach.
Hey there, Juniper. Real quick. If this show keeps you up at night in the best way possible, make sure you follow or subscribe wherever you listen. Seriously, it helps us more than anything. Catch the Shadow Frequency on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, and every major podcast platform. And for the full experience, head to shadowfrequencypodcast.com. Episodes, blog deep dives, merch, and a spot to leave us a voicemail straight from the site. Let us know where in the world you're tuning in from. Handing it back to you, Juniper.
Time to fire up the spectrocosmic message materializer, flipping the switches now. Let's see what ethereal whispers it conjures from the void. Ah, here's a peculiar missive emerging from the ether.
Message retrieved from the void.
Time to crack it open and uncover the words from our shadowy correspondent. All right, this one's got a warm desert vibe cutting through the creepiness, perfect timing after that intense story. It reads, "Hey, Shadow Frequency gang, my name's Talia from New Mexico, and I just wanted to say how much I love the show. Most days I've got you playing on iHeartRadio while I'm doing housework, folding laundry, scrubbing floors, or tackling dishes that somehow multiply overnight. You honestly make chores way more entertaining and a little creepier in the best way. I'm especially hooked on your UFO stories and conspiracy episodes, but the hauntings always get me too. I've definitely jumped a few times while vacuuming. I love how you mix research with storytelling and that fun back and forth you two have. Feels like hanging out with friends who just happen to talk about the paranormal. Keep up the amazing work and keep those shadows whispering. Listening from the desert, Talia." Talia, thanks for that shout-out. Love hearing how we're turning mundane moments into mini adventures. Those jumping while vacuuming stories are gold. Makes me smile. Thank any of you out there in New Mexico sands tuning in. Keep those messages coming, everyone. Drop us a line at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. All right, Matt, back to you for the second half. Let's see where this alien tale takes us next.
You are tuned to the Shadow Frequency, where every whisper tells a story from beyond the veil. The darkness continues.
Thanks, Juniper, and a big shout out to Talia. Glad we're making those chores a bit more thrilling. Nothing like a good UFO yarn to spice up the laundry pile. Picking up where we left off, we're still in the grip of that fateful night in 1978 at Fort Dix and McGuire. The body's been recovered, loaded onto that C-141 under a veil of secrecy, and vanishing into the rumors of Wright-Patterson. But let's linger on what makes this story so hauntingly persistent in UFO lore. Think about the witnesses. Those radar operators glued to their screens, watching those disc-shaped intruders weave through the night sky. Or the pilots, hearts racing as they chase ghosts that outpace their jets. And that MP, facing down a 4-foot entity with those massive reflective eyes and that pungent chemical reek, is the kind of detail that sticks like a bad dream you can't shake. The chase, the shots echoing, the collapse on the runway, it all builds this tapestry of terror, where the mundane military routine collides with the utterly inexplicable. Researchers like those from NICAP pored over early reports, and folks like Major George Filer III have shared briefings that confirm the chaos. UFOs swarming all night, a non-human shot down, and the swift cover-up. Diving deeper, the legend spreads its tendrils through books and interviews. In Strange Craft, Filer's accounts tie into broader UFO patterns, restricted airspace violations, close encounters, and that eerie government hush. It's not just one isolated freakout. It echoes Roswell, but in the jet age, with modern tech failing to explain it away. Imagine the lockdown aftermath, bases sealed, personnel muzzled, the air thick with unspoken orders. What did they find on that body? Gray-brown skin, slender limbs, details that match so many other encounters worldwide. And the odor? Like ammonia, sharp and invasive, as if the being carried its own atmosphere from the stars. But here's something to chew on, folks, and I say this not to burst the bubble, but because every good mystery deserves a counterpoint. Skeptics, including investigators from the National Institute for Discovery Science, dug in hard. They found no official radar logs ever released. Imagine that. No military paperwork corroborating the shots fired or the body recovery. What? Base commanders flat out denied knowledge, and some alleged incident reports had factual errors that screamed hoax. The U.S. Air Force called the whole thing complete fiction built on rumors and UFO tropes. It's that one rational nudge that makes you wonder, was it all a myth spun from Cold War paranoia? Yet, even with that skepticism, the story refuses to die. Why? Because it hits every classic UFO beat. Radar confirmation, humanoid contact, gunfire, body snatch, and stone-cold silence from on high. It's the unresolved that haunts us, the what-if that creeps in late at night. For believers, January 18, 1978 wasn't just a sighting. It was the night something extraterrestrial met its end on a U.S. runway, forever altering those who witnessed it. Makes you question what's really patrolling our skies, doesn't it? Are we alone? Or are there visitors slipping through the cracks, only to be silenced? Leaves a chill, right? Like staring into the abyss and wondering if it's staring back.
Definitely got me second-guessing every strange light outside, but that skeptical bit, smart to throw in, keeps things balanced.
Yeah, got to give both sides their due. Wrapping this up, folks. Thanks for joining the frequency. Over to you, Juniper.
What a wild ride through the McGuire Dix incident tonight. Radars buzzing, encounters in the dark, and that lingering mystery of what really went down on that runway. Thanks for tuning in and letting us pull you into the shadows. If you got your own eerie tales or thoughts on this one, hit us up at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com, and you can check out more on our website, shadowfrequencypodcast.com. And you can, of course, follow us on all the usual haunts for extra creeps. Join us next time for another dive into the unknown. Matt, you want to say goodnight?
Good night, everyone. Keep watching the skies, but maybe lock the doors.
Sweet dreams, or whatever passes for them after this. Until next time, Shadow Seekers.
This episode was conjured with a solemn vow to explore the unexplained while remaining bound to the truths that have been unearthed. All interpretations are speculative and offered only for your enlightenment and your entertainment.